Hi, this is Coach Pete Carroll of the Seattle Seahawks, and thanks to the leadership of Assistant Head Coach Rocky Seto, we've produced our 2015 tackling video. This is an updated edition of the tackling video we released last year, and it features some new points of emphasis and a review of the foundational elements of our tackling system. As we all know, basic fundamentals must be taught and reviewed constantly. This is a system we've been teaching and utilizing for the last 5 years at the Seahawks and since our days at SC. To summarize, the tackling system features leverage-based shoulder tackling and a major emphasis on taking the head out of tackling. We strike with our leverage shoulder and keep our helmets on our leverage side but out of the tackle. We've found our style to be successful in the league and in college, and we believe it could be employed on all levels. We're passionate about teaching this style of tackling because we desire to keep the standards of the game high and make the game as safe as possible. Our tackling system has been inspired by those who play rugby around the world, and rugby players have done a tremendous job of taking the head out of their game, and they truly exemplify shoulder tackling. You will see several clips of rugby tackling throughout this film. The following video will contain information on tracking, compression tackles, hawk lift tackles, and profile tackles. We'll go into each teaching point more in depth later on in the video. The basis of our passion in this video is to maintain the physical integrity of the game while developing safer tackling techniques. We desire to play the game as tough as it is meant to be played while also making the game safer. We hope you'll find this interesting and you'll enjoy watching the following film. Tracking. We're a shoulder tackling team based on leverage, so we must own and maintain our leverage. To do this, we track the near hip of the ball carrier. Our tackling system begins with tracking because we focus on shoulder tackling based on leverage. We focus on a technique called run and gather, where a player tracks the near hip of the ball carrier as he closes in on the tackle. Here, number 29 does his run and gather technique as he tracks the ball carrier into the flat. In practice, linebackers go through a run and gather tracking drill. Here in the game, number 50 comes from inside-out leverage position and tracks the ball carrier into the perimeter. In practice, number 54 works on tracking a running back in man-to-man coverage. Then in the game, number 54 tracks the near hip of the ball carrier and makes the tackle. A new highlighted emphasis in this video is the near foot concept. As we track the near hip, we like to get into a near foot swoop position. In this game tape, 3 players do not get their near foot up, and it locks their leverage side hip and prevents them from maintaining their leverage. In practice, number 50 gets into a near foot swoop position as he prepares to tackle into a crash pad. In the Super Bowl, number 31 uses near foot swoop as he gets ready to engage the ball carrier and makes the tackle. Maintaining the near foot swoop position allows you to maintain your leverage, and it also puts the tackler in the best and strongest position to deliver a forceful strike on the ball carrier. Here are several more examples of the near foot swoop in action. Compression tackles. Compression tackles are all about owning your hip, as we call it. Owning your hip means dominating your leverage. We'll hit with our leverage shoulder and keep our helmets to the leverage side. In this drill, number 54 and number 31 practice tracking the near hip while keeping their near foot swoop position as they learn to work with each other to perform a compression tackle. Number 31 and number 29 make a textbook compression tackle very similar to the drill. Here's a compression tackle drill with a moving target. Notice how number 58 works hard to maintain his leverage as he adjusts to that moving target. Here's another example of a compression tackle in the game. And here, number 25 and number 29 make a compression tackle in the flat. Notice how both players are tracking the hip and getting into strong near foot swoop position. Hawk tackles. A hawk tackle is our basic fundamental tackle that we want to revisit from our first tackling video. Hawk tackles are shoulder tackles targeting the thighs of the ball carrier, where the defender focuses his eyes at thigh level. We do this by coaching eyes to the thighs, wrap and squeeze the legs, and drive for 5 when necessary. The following plays show prime examples of ideal hawk tackles. Here's a practice drill of players imagining the thigh level of a ball carrier, targeting the sled, and making a left shoulder hawk tackle. Cross-face hawk tackles. Cross-face hawk tackles are where the ball carrier works against the tackler's leverage. Therefore, our helmets will be across the ball carrier since we keep our helmets on our leverage side. In this play, number 31 makes a right shoulder cross-face hawk tackle as the ball carrier cuts back into his leverage. Number 31 attempts to make an outside-in right shoulder hawk tackle, which turns into a cross-face tackle when the ball carrier cuts back into his leverage. In this play, number 29 comes from inside-out leverage and maintains his leverage by making a left shoulder cross-face hawk tackle. Number 25 makes a right shoulder cross-face hawk tackle because the ball carrier is cutting back into his leverage. Hawk lift tackle. The hawk lift tackle is a new emphasis added since the previous tackling video. We still target the ball carrier with the leveraged shoulder, and then we lift with the off hand. Number 29 makes a left shoulder hit and then lifts with his right hand, the off hand from his hitting shoulder. Left shoulder hit, right hook. Number 50 makes a right shoulder hit, left hook. Here's a left shoulder hit, right hook in rugby. Number 31 makes a right shoulder hit, left hook. Left shoulder hit, right hook. Right shoulder hit, left hook. Number 41 makes a left shoulder hit with a right hook. Here are several more examples of hawk lift tackles where the emphasis is making contact with our leveraged shoulder and lifting with our off hand. In practice, number 20 makes a right shoulder hit and hooks with his left hand, his off hand. Number 54 makes a hawk lift tackle in this game footage. Profile tackle. A profile tackle is a shoulder tackle targeting the near pec. We wrap and drive for 5 when necessary. Here, number 72 makes a left shoulder profile tackle as he targets the near pec and drives the ball carrier to the ground. Here are several more profile tackles from both football and rugby. This drill highlights targeting the near pec, wrapping up and driving for 5. Notice number 95 wrap up and drive for 5. Here are several more examples of profile tackles. Number 54 makes a profile tackle in the backfield. In this drill, players work on profile tackles by targeting the near pec and driving for 5. Number 50 makes an inside-out right shoulder profile tackle. Here are a couple examples of a cross-face profile tackle. Number 29, coming from his inside-out leverage position, makes a left shoulder cross-face profile tackle. Number 54 is also in an inside-out leverage position and makes a cross-face profile tackle. A highlighted emphasis in our profile tackles is the shoulder punch. Here are a few examples of shoulder punches. Here, drive for 5 is the emphasis on running your feet through the contact. Here are some examples. Thank you for joining us for the second edition of our tackling video. We hope you learn the value of shoulder tackling and the importance of taking the head out of the game. We would love to hear your feedback as we continue this dialogue and help make this great sport even better for generations to come.